she's pretty incredible. I mean, you watch her and it's unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Like, she's just that dominant, whether it's her mid-range game, she can put it on the floor. She's just so athletic. Everybody in the league knows you can't guard it. You basically just live with what she's going to do to you every single night. It's just you contain it as best you can, and she's going to make some shots that are really tough. And like I said, like it's going to be a tall task, but also she affects the game on both ends. Like, she's a really good defensive player, great rim protector, just so athletic. And obviously she's been able to shoot the three pretty well this year too. So
Caitlin Clark called A'ja Wilson unguardable. A'ja is defending Clark against critics. These two might be rivals on the court, but off it, there's a whole different story. Let's dive into the relationship between the rookie and the MVP candidate. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. A'ja Wilson just went crazy against the Fever, and Caitlin Clark was right there in the middle of it. You know what's wild? A'ja dropped 29 points and grabbed 15 rebounds. It was like watching a highlight reel in real time. But Caitlin, she struggled big time, only scoring 8 points and turning the ball over 6 times. That's rough for the #1 draft pick. But here's the thing, what happened on the court is just the beginning. There's so much more going on behind the scenes. This game could change everything for both players. A'ja's pushing hard for that MVP title, while Caitlin's trying to prove she belongs in the big leagues. And the whole WNBA, it's watching and waiting to see what happens next. This isn't just a game, it's a turning point for the entire league. A'ja Wilson isn't just dominating on the court, she's rewriting the playbook on what it means to be a WNBA superstar. Her strategy against the Fever, it's not what you think, and her approach to rookies like Caitlin Clark, that's where things get really interesting. A'ja's performance against the Fever was nothing short of spectacular. 29 points, 15 rebounds, those are MVP numbers right there. But you know what's even crazier? This is her 4th game in a row with at least 20 points and 10 rebounds. That ties a WNBA record. A'ja's not just playing well, she's making history every time she steps on the court. But here's the thing, A'ja's dominance isn't just about putting up big numbers. It's about how she's doing it. After the game, she dropped this bomb. Last year, I was kind of going with the flow. This year, I feel like I'm trying to pick the defense apart and get to my spots. That's not just talent, that's next level strategy. A'ja's not just outplaying her opponents, she's outsmarting them. And let's talk about her shooting. 12 of 18 from the field. That's insane efficiency. A'ja's not just scoring, she's doing it with precision. She's picking her spots, reading the defense, and making them pay every single time. It's like watching a chess master, but instead of moving pieces, she's breaking ankles and dropping buckets. But you want to know what really sets A'ja apart? It's not just what she does on the court, it's how she eggs off it. After the game, when everyone was talking about her incredible performance, A'ja was focused on something else entirely. She was defending Caitlin Clark. Yeah, you heard that right. The same rookie who's been getting all the hype, who's supposed to be A'ja's biggest competition. A'ja's got her back. She said she's learning and growing just like everyone else. People don't give her a chance. That's leadership right there. A'ja's not just trying to be the best player in the league, she's trying to make the whole league better. And that's why A'ja's MVP campaign is about so much more than just stats. Sure, she's putting up ridiculous numbers, but she's also showing what it means to be a true superstar in this league. She's dominating on the court, outsmarting her opponents, and lifting up her fellow players all at the same time. Now, flip the script to Caitlin Clark. The rookie's having a rough start, and fans are getting antsy. But hold up, is there more to this story than meets the eye? What if I told you Clark's off game actually revealed something crucial about her future in the league? Let's break it down. Clark's latest game. It was tough to watch. 8 points, 2 of 8 shooting, and 6 turnovers. That's not the stat line you expect from the #1 draft pick. Fans are freaking out, saying things like, Caitlin Clark doesn't know how to move without the ball. Ouch! But here's the thing, Clark's not the only one struggling. The Fever are sitting at 1-6 right now. They've had a brutal schedule, facing powerhouses like the undefeated Connecticut Sun and last year's finalists, the New York Liberty. And get this, 5 of those games were on the road. That's a tough start for any team, let alone one with a rookie star. Speaking of tough, Clark's finding out just how physical the WNBA can be. She's been vocal about it, saying she often feels held and hit during games. That's gotta mess with your game, especially when you're trying to adjust to the pro level. Now, about those turnovers. Clark's averaging 5.3 per game. That's a lot of pressure for a rookie to handle, but you know what? It's all part of the learning curve. Clark's not just trying to score, she's learning how to run an entire offense against the best players in the world. But here's what everyone's missing. Even in her off game, Clark dished out 7 assists and grabbed 5 rebounds. That's huge. It shows she's not just a one-trick pony. When her shot's not falling, she's finding other ways to impact the game. That's the mark of a true star in the making. And you want to know the craziest part? Even after A'ja Wilson torched her team, Clark had nothing but praise for her. She called Wilson unguardable. That's not just good sportsmanship, it's a sign that Clark's studying the game, learning from the best, and figuring out how to elevate her own play. Clark's learning from Wilson, but here's the kicker. Their rivalry is teaching the WNBA some major lessons too. Sellout crowds, social media buzz, and even ref controversies. This clash is exposing the league's growing pains and hidden potential, and you won't believe who's really benefiting from all this drama. The A'ja-Caitlin matchup isn't just about 2 players, it's reshaping the entire WNBA. We're talking about a league that's exploding in popularity. The Aces, they've sold out 16 of their 20 home games this season. That's insane. Fans are going crazy for these matchups, and it's not hard to see why. But it's not all smooth sailing. The league's facing some serious challenges. Caitlin Clark's been vocal about the officiating, saying she feels held and hit during games. That's gotta be frustrating for a rookie trying to find her footing. And the Aces, they're not making it any easier. They're throwing aggressive defense at star players like Clark, forcing them to adapt and level up their game. You know what's really cool though? The way the league's veterans are stepping up. Take Becky Hammon, the Aces head coach. She's not just focused on her own team, she's defending Caitlin Clark against the critics. Hammon said, "Let's be very clear. We love Caitlin Clark. Shut down the noise." That's huge. It shows the WNBA isn't just about competition, it's about building a stronger league for everyone. And that's the real story here. This A'ja-Caitlin rivalry, it's pushing everyone to be better. Players are stepping up their game, coaches are getting more strategic, fans are more engaged than ever. Even the league itself is having to adapt, figuring out how to handle this surge in popularity and the challenges that come with it. The upcoming rematch between the Aces and Fever is gonna be wild. Both teams have a lot on the line. Playoff positioning, individual player narratives, you name it, but it's more than just a game. It's a showcase of everything the WNBA is becoming. The star power, the strategic depth, the fan engagement, it's all coming together in a way we've never seen before. So who's really winning in all this? Sure, A'ja Wilson's putting up MVP numbers, Caitlin Clark's learning the ropes and showing flashes of brilliance, but the real winner, it's the WNBA itself. This rivalry is driving fan engagement through the roof. It's pushing players to elevate their game. It's forcing the league to grow and adapt. And in the end, that's making women's basketball better for everyone. Alright, let's recap this wild ride. A'ja Wilson's been absolutely crushing it, putting up MVP numbers and playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's getting a crash course in WNBA basketball, learning that it's a whole different game up here. But you know what's really crazy? This rivalry between A'ja and Caitlin is pushing the entire league forward. Sellout crowds, social media buzz, and even some ref drama. It's all part of the WNBA's growth spurt. Now, everyone's eyes are on the rematch. Will A'ja keep dominating? Can Caitlin bounce back and show why she was the #1 pick? One thing's for sure, this game's gonna be epic. A'ja and Caitlin might be rivals on the court, but they're both taking the WNBA to new heights. Who's coming out on top next time? We can't wait to find out.